Hello, Virgo. I hope that everybody's doing well. If you notice a mark on my nose, it's just from my sunglasses, so remain calm. I hope that you're having a good day or evening or afternoon, wherever this finds you. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. How's everyone's allergies? Anyone suffering from allergies currently? What are you working on here? I'm looking at the King of Wands and the Six of Swords. You may have been in some type of leadership role that you're moving on from. Maybe something you don't want to be doing anymore. This could have even been something creative that you were working on, and maybe it got too busy for you. This can even be a person that you're moving away from. Somebody you could have been working with. It's like you could have had a connection with this person creatively or even romantically. However, if this is something that you were doing, if this is a role that you were playing, you could have been doing something where you were kind of more in control of a situation, or mentoring even, something like that, a lead position, and you're moving on from it. It's like, it's something that you're not doing anymore, maybe because it became too hectic, and you're starting something new with the Fool here. So leaving something that you may have been familiar with, or someone you may have been familiar with, to go start something new. Something that you may have less experience with. But you feel like you are going to be valued in the way that you want to, or even a place where you feel like you're going to be making the type of money that you're hoping to make, something like that. So it's like there's either a sense of balance energetically, financially, maybe even both, in what it is that you're discovering now. And it seems too like you're kind of at a crossroads as well with where you're going to go from here. Like you may have just started something and you're trying to figure out what to do next. For some of you, this can even be, like, if this is another person apart from yourself, you could be moving away from someone to start something new because you were feeling undervalued, maybe, and that could have been something that felt, like, maybe disappointing or hurtful to you, but you know that it's time to, like, make a new type of plan. So, as I said before, whether this is a person or this was a role or a position that you were playing, I'm seeing that you're taking a break from it. Either way, it's like moving on, taking a break from something. I can't do that right now, or I can't be with you right now. Or I can't be that for you right now also. It's like maybe you even feel like your time and or money is going to be better spent elsewhere. And this could have been something that you were trying to figure out too. You were like, I know that I need a break from either doing this or from this person, but there was a like maybe waiting for the right time, or like prioritizing the right time for you to actually make the move to move away from this, to actually take action, to step into some type of movement. Maybe too, you were waiting for the right time to start something new. It's like waiting for the right opportunity to do this. Maybe you also feel like, it feels too like whatever you were doing before may have been more so on the solo front, and you may be joining even a group of people now and doing something. Or like spending more time with your friends or family. You could even be celebrating something, either upcoming or you just did. It seems too like there could have been one relationship that you were focusing on, and maybe now you're focusing on other relationships as well. It's It's like maybe you feel like you were neglecting your friends a little bit, or like other relationships that feel important to you, and you're getting back to putting the focus on that. For some of you, there's even a new group of friends that that you're making. I'm hearing acquaintance, maybe even reacquainting yourself with someone or a group of people. There's a sense, too, of you being like, you know what, I want to go where I'm feeling valued, and I'm really working on establishing that for myself and making plans that are in alignment with that. And it's like making the judgment call to be like, again, like making plans in alignment with like you feeling valued where it is that you're going, what it is that you're participating in, who you're seeing, whom you're seeing. Because you may have felt too, like in either that connection or that position, you may feel like it was geared towards maybe just like one aspect of yourself that you were exploring, and now you're interested in exploring maybe a different aspect than you had the opportunity to explore. I'm looking at Uranus and Pluto here. Uranus and Pluto are both energies of kind of like breaking the boundaries of what you had been doing too, and making a big change for yourself, and maybe doing it in a different way than you had been doing before. If we're getting those energies to work simultaneously. And now I'm looking at the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles can speak about a collaboration. It can even speak about reaching out to resources, even different resources, gathering resources, getting a second opinion. I'm also hearing, Virgo. For some of you too, there could be some people that you're working with or even hanging out with that you're around that you feel like are supporting what you're doing right now. It's like a group of people that are really in support of your empowerment, and maybe even a project that you're working on or something that you want to be exploring with the Empress here. This can even be a creative venture that you're exploring. Something that you've been patiently building towards. Something you're taking your time with. To understand more completely. I'm looking at Venus, Sagittarius, and Neptune here. Ooh. This can be a person that you're working with, but this can also be an aspect of your own being. Whoever this person is, or whatever aspect this is of you, this is an energy that would be one that's like immersed in the emotional experience. It's like the emotional body, maybe getting into more intuitive, like fluid, energetic movement. Maybe even things subconsciously that you're working on. It feels like before you could have been in more of a masculine energy where it's like you were taking control of things, or you were like instructing other people, or like even constructing things. And now this energy is like, well, what am I feeling? What am I processing? Like, where do I feel empowered? What do I want to work on creatively? Like, what am I sensing even? This feels like stepping into more of a nurturing energy as well. It's like that side of you again that is like more intuitive and emotional. And maybe this was something that you felt like with whatever it was that you were doing before, you kind of had to like front in a more masculine energy, and now there's a sense of being like, I want to be more immersed in my feminine energy as well. So it seems like a balancing act that we're doing now to like integrate ourselves more fully into the experience we're having. And as I said before, this could be like somebody even that you're working with that you feel like is really on the emotional front, sensitive front, intuitive front. It's like somebody that you're learning from, if this is not just like an extension of your being here. Could also be working on working on how we can both hold our emotional experience and also withstand moments of feeling like things don't go the ways that we want them to go. It's like, how can I still uphold and maintain this part of myself that feels empowered even when things don't go as I plan? And how can I be patient with myself as I'm moving through this process as well? How do I get over things that I've been having a hard time moving on from? Things like that as well. So maybe we're also addressing things too here that we felt disappointed by at one point in time and working with ourselves through that. This means also acknowledging these things too rather than just pushing them down. I'm almost getting a sense of like, sometimes you may catch yourself on the edge of fear when it comes to you opening yourself up to an emotional experience, because you're like, if I open myself up and I'm vulnerable, I'm opening myself up to feeling disappointed, and like I don't want to feel like that, because there's a sense of being like, well, if I'm open to feeling everything, there are also going to be unpleasant things that I'm feeling or experiencing, or things that I'm looking back on and being like, oh, I wish things didn't happen like that, or like, yeah, I was disappointed by that, or that situation did upset me. So this is a sense of trying to figure out like how to handle that and be patient with yourself, and also like acknowledge the entire experience that we're having too, because there may have been something that you're recognizing that maybe you pushed down at a certain point of time because you just felt like you were at your limit and you couldn't handle it, and now it's like these feelings are kind of bubbling to the surface, and we're trying to figure out how to deal with that, how to manage that, how to experience that, and kind of still maintain this sort of balance that we're trying to hold. It feels too like, you know, sometimes when we can kind of numb ourselves off to experiencing certain things, and then it's like when you open the vault, like everything kind of spills out. I'm kind of seeing that sort of momentum happening here. So this is too about how to manage your experience when you feel caught up in that, and how to not completely like be like overcome by the emotional experience. It's like how to sit with that rather than letting it overtake you. So really learning more about managing our emotions, and also admitting to the emotions that we're feeling too. So it's like acknowledging this experience as well. And this may not be something that you feel comes naturally to you at times. It's like easier maybe sometimes to pretend like things aren't bothering you, or that something didn't upset you, or that you don't regret certain things. And now it's like, well, if I'm going to be here in a place where everything is intact, including like my emotional body and everything I'm feeling, then I have to acknowledge these things as well. So there's like that notion here of acceptance and understanding that we're moving through. Maybe a sense too of like when you get caught up in your head, being like, you know what, it's okay that I'm feeling like this right now, and just like yes manning all of the emotions that you're having. Getting more comfortable in that uncomfortable space. It feels like this is a block that you're moving through. Maybe even surrounding interpersonal relationships. For some of you, this can be related to a family member or sibling, but for others of you, this is about, like, maybe even understanding intimate relationships on a whole. It's like, in the past, when you allowed yourself to feel things, you were left disappointed, and there's a sense of being like, you know what, I'm just throwing out intimate relationships altogether because I don't want to go through that again. And there's a state of like, and now maybe considering thinking about opening yourself back up again. It's like facing these things that maybe had been pushed down. And this is too about reaching some sort of enlightenment when it comes to partnerships and what you're willing to participate in, what you're opening yourself up to, and chances that you're willing to take as well, Virgo. And learning too how to manage the emotional experience. This is all also about getting on a page with yourself where you're understanding that even if like the worst of situations occur, that it's also something that you're strong enough to to experience and move through and be able to heal through the experience as well. Because we're always taking a chance when we connect with people, and you may have been writing it off altogether, and now there's this sense of like your interest maybe even being piqued to opening yourself back up. And it seems again like something that you're learning when it comes to intimate relationships, like something that you're coming to understand that maybe didn't click for you before, but now things are kind of falling more so into place. I'm looking at Venus, Sagittarius, Neptune, and Gemini. It looks like there could have been something that changed at work as well. Something regarding your position or how you're playing a certain role. It's like I'm seeing more of an effort when it comes to like consistency and building in relation to this role that you're playing surrounding like finances and stuff for you. And what you're trying to manifest from this place of like consistency and endurance. There's too more of a strategy as well with the Emperor and the King of Pentacles with this position that you're in for work. For some of you, this can be related to family. Wow. Okay, so in relation to work, job, career, and a role that you're playing, it seems like in the past you could have had this mentality where like you weren't feeling like you were doing a great job, or maybe had like really high expectations of yourself to the point where it was feeling like really intimidated in relation to what you were doing for work. And now there's a sense of healing that and being like, you know what, I can do this. And like, I am determined enough to do this, and I can provide a sort of consistency. And now there's a sense of like you growing and gaining wisdom in this position that you're in, and you giving all of your effort, channeling your energy into what it is that you're doing for work and or family. And something big that's being healed when it comes to like your belief in self, your self-efficacy, your self-esteem even, that's tied into work-related things, and how you perform your job as well. I'm seeing something that you've been working on, and a lot of knowledge that you've been gaining as well. It seems like you're getting more comfortable in a position. It's like the longer you're there, the more comfortable you feel like you're settling into something here. And the more you're believing in yourself. I'm looking at Aries, Mercury, and Aquarius here. And I'm also looking at Cancer on the bottom of the deck. Alright, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing. And I hope to catch you guys next time.